Drinking buddies, I'm really excited for this round of our weeded bourbon tournament because I love Maker's Mark and I love these wood finishing series, the private selections, Maker's 46, all of the stuff with the extra staves thrown into the barrels, I love. So this is going to be a really fun one. Let's get to it.
I'm your drinking buddy.
All right, drinking buddies, now that we got those mixed up, let's talk a little bit about these Maker's products. So, weeded bourbon tastes really good when it's old. Old weeded bourbon is expensive, hard to make, and there's no guarantee that you keep something in a barrel for 20 years, you open it up, it's gonna be great. Maker's has found an excellent way around that, and they take some charred oak staves, throw them in the barrel, and let it age much faster. And I have 4 of those offerings right now. I thought it'd be good to have several of them in one round, see which one of the 4 is the best. I know some of these aren't available anymore, but the idea is private selections are really good and you can find those in your area. They just might be a little different than the ones I have. Let's go through what I got. First up, we have this spiced French toast. This is a private selection from Total Wine. It is highlighted by the fact that it is 4 French roasted mendinant. I don't know what that means, but there's 4 staves from there in there. It has the stave profile right on the bottle. Next up, we have FAEO1. I have never tasted this before. I opened this for this. I've been saving it. And this is a wood finishing series, so if this one wins, don't fret. We got a new one coming out soon, BRTO1, and then later at the end of the year, we'll get BRTO2. So, hey, if this wins, it's not like it's completely unattainable because a similar product will be coming out soon. Oh, I should go over proof. This one is 108.9. The Maker's, the FAEO1 is 110.6. Next up, we have Maker's 46 cask strength. It's 110.3. And this is Kentucky Straight Bourbon Whiskey, barrel finished with oak staves. And the stave profile is number 46. That's where it gets the name. And the last one up here, this one is called Desert 602 2021 Whiskey Finders Collection. And it's highlighted by having 5 baked American pure cask staves added. And it's 110.8 proof as well. This one was a store pick that hit some Safeways and Albertsons in my area. Let's dive in, guys. Ooh, yeah, that smells so sweet. Honey, but with like a little bit of smokiness behind it. Oaky, smoky, oaky. Well, if they're all that good, it's gonna be a really hard one to pick, because that's excellent. Very smooth. I know some people hate that word, but mouth feels excellent. It's highlighted by a toasty oak flavor, but it's a little sweet. It's got a little bit of a young bourbon sweetness as well. Yeah, that one's like baked cornbread that's a little bit burned. But that wasn't very flattering. Anyway, it's tasty and it's got a little bit of a sweet corn thing going on, but with a lot of oaky and smokiness going on too. Okay, this one's got a little bit more ethanol on the nose than the first one. And a little bit of that young bourbon graininess. This one's a little barnyardy. Yeah, young grains. Two is solid, but it does taste hotter than number 1, and these are almost identical proofs. So far, number 1 is really leading the pack, but as you guys know, I often change my mind when I taste them through a second time. That one's got some cherry going on, and a lot of bourbon vanilla on this one. but it does taste hot. Not exactly larceny barrel proof hot, but it does drink hot. Okay, this one's a really mellow citrusy nose. Crazy how these can smell completely different. Yeah, this almost smells like I'm smelling something just not even in the same category as the first two. It's like bright and citrusy. Very similar on the palate from Glass One. It's got a lot of those same flavors going on. Sweet corn, oak, a little bit smoky, sweet, smooth, lighter. It tastes lighter on proof than the second one. Yeah, that's solid. Oh man, this is maple syrup and pancakes. Oh, this is just a delightful nose. Well, I think I found our French toast. This, I believe, is the Total Wine Store pick called Spiced French Toast, because this tastes like cinnamon and maple and baked French toast. 4 and 1 are excellent. 3 is really good, 2 is okay. Leading the pack right now is 4. Things change when I go through them again. And of course, I'll fast forward through this part because I'm not going to make you go through all those tasting notes twice. We'll see you on the other side. All right, well, drinking buddies, I guess I'll go ahead and give you my guesses. I think number 1 is the Maker's 46 cask strength. I think number 2 is the FAEO1. I think number 3 is the Desert 602. And I think number 4 is the Spiced French Toast. But what's more important, I'm picking number 4 as my winner, and this was really hard. I keep saying that in these challenges, that it's really hard. The first 2 I felt were pretty easy, and the first 3 I think were pretty easy, and it's gotten so much harder every time because I could easily take 1 or 4 here. And 2 even grew on me. The one that I said was my least favorite the first time through, I really like it now. I think it's just as good as the rest. This number 4 for me is just a hair better. The maple, the brown sugar, cinnamon, just such a wonderful pour. Let's figure out which is which. So our runner-up was 3. So, okay. So Maker's Cask Strength 46 was our second choice. Next up, I predicted this was, I forget. Number 1. Okay, so the Spiced French Toast was actually right here. So far I got the 1 right. Next up, number 4. Okay, so that was the Desert 602, which means we are left with our winner being FAEO1, guys. I mean, I get it. I guess I'm a little bit disappointed that I got a winner here that is a bottle that you can't get anymore. However, that's the way the blind goes. And these Maker's Wood Finishing Series are excellent. So if this thing does end up winning it all, don't fret. I'm sure the BRT01 is going to be just as good as this one or the FAEO2 that I have. I love these bottles. I love everything that Maker's is doing in these experimental lines here. And there was no bad bottle today. If you are out in your area and you see one of these Maker's Mark private selections, they're about $70. I know that sounds like a lot, but they're worth it. They're worth every penny. And they're hand selected by the place that you bought it at. Generally, they'll say what retailer put it together. Or sometimes the distributor did. Sometimes that's the case too. I think that is the case for this one because it says 2021 Whiskey Finders Collection. I don't believe that Albertsons and Safeway picked that one, but I could be wrong. Otherwise, I feel like it would say Albertsons and Safeway. Example, the Albertsons, Safeway store picks for Old Elk and Elijah Craig Barrel Proof that were recently released did say Safeway Albertsons on the bottle, so I believe that to be not the case here. But my whole point is, if you see something on it that says Wood Finishing Series or Private Selection and it says Maker's Mark above it, buy it. Because those Wood Finishing Series are can be unicorns. They're very difficult to find. They're very difficult to locate. And the Private Selections are one and done, excellent bottles, hand selected by the person you're buying it for, and by the person you're buying it from, and they're just really good bottles. We learned today, FAE 01 is moving on. Drinking Buddies, I hope you check out the other videos in this lineup if you haven't seen them yet. We're gonna be getting down to, we got one more round and then we're gonna be doing our championship. And for the championship, I'll have 8 bottles. And we're gonna do a double blind. I'm gonna have my wife pour 4 of them for me and I won't know which 4 I'm drinking. A winner will move on. I will drink the other 4. I don't know which 4 I will be drinking. A winner will move on. And then we'll do one final round with either 1 by 1 or maybe I will do 2. I'll pick 2 from each round, depending. But I will not know what I'm drinking in those 2 rounds as well as the finale. The grand finale, we will have a winner and I will have no idea what I'm drinking, which should be pretty fun. I like the idea of doing a double blind on that one. So, Drinking Buddies, we'll see you on the next one.